Hi, this is Comic Picks by the Glick.
And I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, well, this week, as a lot of you probably have noticed, that we've got a movie based on a comic book out called Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy. Yeah, Hellboy II, The Golden Army. It's based on the comic creation by Mike Mignola. And as Mignola has described it, it's basically Hellboy, the comic book, is basically an expression of his love for the great monster and energy works of Jack Kirby, crossed with all the great craziness of H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft.
Did you say let's love crack?
Don't ask me what I was thinking there, but H.P. Lovecraft, all the dark gods and the tentacles and stuff like that.
Oh, right, yeah, the whole Cthulhu thing or whatever.
Exactly.
Is that how you say it, Cthulhu?
Anyway. Cthulhu. It's like I heard the Cthulhu is supposed to be not be. The way he imagined it is it's not supposed to be able to be pronounced by mortal tongue.
Yeah.
So whenever we say it, we have to say it wrong because we can't pronounce it.
That's right.
Anyway, that being said, the main thing about Hellboy is that the main appeal for it is it's just basically like Hellboy, he's just a regular guy. He's a working class, blue collar dude, happens to be the son of a grand demon and a witch.
Yeah.
He's also the beast of the apocalypse who's been proselytized to bring about the ruin of mankind.
Awesome.
But hey, it's like, aside from that, he's just a regular guy like the rest of us who just wants to have a beard, do a decent day's work, and just go through life like a regular guy.
Now, I've seen the movies. Does he smoke cigars in the comics as well?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he smokes a lot. He's got the trench coat. Actually, he goes shirtless a lot more in the comics than he does in the movies. Yeah, and the general consensus among just about everyone who reviews comic books is that Hellboy is a national treasure. It's one of the best creator-owned comics to come along, in the last 20-odd years. Mm-hmm. Personally, my opinion, I think Hellboy is merely good rather than a national treasure.
Alrighty.
Now, you see, I love, the general approach for Hellboy. I mean, it's impossible not to like all the craziness that Mike Mignola comes up with, with Nazi-created gems like a head, like a floating head in a jar, or gorillas, or zombie gorillas and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's general love of mythology in general, any kind of mythology, Japanese, Nordic, Native American, African, all sorts of stuff. I mean, he draws inspiration from everywhere. But the problem is for me though is that I love Hellboy's working class regular guy approach to the character. A lot of the stories, the main stories that advance the general Hellboy mythology, generally revolve around the thread of, Hellboy is a beast of the apocalypse. He's going to bring about the ruin of mankind. And generally, these stories involve certain parties like Nazis, other demons, witches, stuff like that. It's Hellboy, you are the beast of the apocalypse. You're going to bring about the ruin of mankind. We're going to try and stop you or help you along your way. And Hellboy going, screw you bastards. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want.
Right.
And that kind of approach gets wearing after a while. I mean, if it wasn't for Hellboy's really great down-to-earth sense of humor, when these people come up to him and tell him about this stuff, it's screw you bastards, I've been drinking with skeletons, you don't want to mess with me. And his help here becomes necessary to diffusing a lot of the pretentiousness a lot of the overarching storylines come across.
So he's kind of a pragmatic, just hey, you know what? Screw my fate. I'm just going to do whatever the hell I want. And that's you're saying that theme is just carried over, over and over and over again in every situation.
Exactly. I mean, it's the overall storyline. That's kind of the thing we've been dealing with for years. And also, the people who've been saying these things about Hellboy being the beast of the apocalypse are generally very thoroughly serious and seriously insufferable folks like the Nazis or witches or whatnot.
Right. People who care more about it than Hellboy himself.
Yeah. And we've been going they're just so deathly serious about this stuff that it's kind of we get the point. Get on with it. And it's to be honest, a lot of the stuff I enjoy from Hellboy the most are just little short stories where the corpse, where he has to deliver where he's been charged in order to get a kid back to his parents. The fairy folk are charged him with delivering a corpse to a proper Christian burial ground, which proves far more challenging than he had initially planned because of all the people who don't want this guy to be buried in a certain spot, and a giant pig demon who comes to beat the crap out of Hellboy instead. And you also other stories like Heads, which involve a bunch of Japanese vampire heads who want to try and eat Hellboy for dinner, but Hellboy wakes up first, drowns their bodies, and then winds up killing them first. Or the Troll Witch, which involves stories of two sisters, one beautiful, one ugly, and the ugly one having to save the head of the beautiful one before she dies. I mean, like, these little stories of mythology that Mignola brings out to share with everyone are really good stuff. It's just the overall storyline for Hellboy. It's not entirely interesting by itself. I mean, it's like, yeah, we know Hellboy. Like, we know about his destiny. We know he wants to, because of his racism, like, he wants to escape it. But at this point, like, where do you want to go? Where are we going from here? I mean, like, the most recent volume, Darkness Calls,
right?
Basically has Hellboy going through a bunch of Russian mythology features, which just keep on reiterating the same stuff I've been telling you about. And it's like, well, where do you go from here? Like, what is there a clear direction for Hellboy? I mean, it's like I like his general character, but the overall storylines don't do a whole lot for me. I mean, like I said, it's good stuff, but it's like National Treasure. I think not.
Okay.
I mean, like, one of the things I liked about the recent movie, Hellboy II, Golden Army, which we'll talk about more in the No Podcast for Old Men.
That's right.
Yeah, cross promotion here, buddies. Just check it out.
That's right.
Is that it's a very Hellboy story with its stories about the elves trying to get the elven prince Nuada trying to get his hands on a legendary army to destroy the race of man.
Right.
And Hellboy coming in to try and stop him, along with the rest of the Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense, or B.P.R.D. for short. And it's a very Hellboy story, but without all the whole he's the Beast of the Apocalypse stuff. And actually, the whole Beast of the Apocalypse is very played down in the movies to the extent that it becomes more interesting. To the extent where I'd much rather see Guillermo del Toro's take on this than Mike Mignola's. I mean, sad as it may be, it's like
interesting.
That's
right.
I mean, it's the story itself of the movie. It seemed like it came more from del Toro's head than Mignola's.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, like, I'm kind of sure that once Del Toro is done with the Hobbit prequels, that he'll come back to Hellboy to finish it off and make a proper trilogy of movies.
Yes, exactly. Because we need at least Hellboy 3.
Yes, especially if it's as good as the recent one.
Yep.
That being said, after Volume 5, let's see, was it Volume 5? Yeah, Volume 5 of the Hellboy series, Conqueror Worm. Actually, let me read this off for you real quick. Like,
sure.
They're up to Volume 8 right now for Hellboy, and the volumes in order are Seed of Destruction, Wake the Devil, The Chained Coffin, and others, The Right Hand of Doom, Conqueror Worm, Strange Places, The Troll Witch, and others, and the most recent one, Darkness Calls. But after the end of Volume 5, Conqueror Worm, where Hellboy has to take on a Lovecraftian worm in order to say that has come down from space to turn everyone into zombie frogs, he decides to quit the B.P.R.D. because of their treatment of one of his buddies, Roger, the homunculus.
Okay.
Yeah, so after that, there's another sister series to Hellboy called B.P.R.D.
Okay.
Which basically focuses on Roger the homunculus, Abraham Sapien, Liz the pyrokinetic, and Johann Kraus, the ectoplasmic medium.
Okay.
And like the first two volumes are just basically collections of the one-shots and one-off stories that Mignola has done for the franchise over the years. And then it becomes a series of miniseries with Volume 3, Plague of Frogs, which starts dealing with Abraham Sapien's origins. Now, this makes I met people are going to take issue with like my thoughts on Hellboy in general. Personally, I feel that B.P.R.D. floats my boat a lot more because it's got a much more focused take on what it's going to on its overall storyline, and it just tends to be balanced. Its humor and drama a lot better than Hellboy is in general.
Is this Mike Mignola as well?
Okay, for the first three volumes, Hollow Earth and Other Stories, The Soul of Venice and Other Stories, and Plague of Frogs are Mike Mignola by himself. And like they're generally like, which if you've read Hellboy, you'll know what to expect from here. With Volume 4, The Dead, Mignola brings on a co-writer, John Arcudi, who's done lots of Dark Horse stuff before, like The Mask, various Aliens properties, and other stuff.
Okay.
And to be honest, I feel that I'm not sure if it was just Mignola, Arcudi himself, bringing a lot to this stuff, but from Volume 4 on, it comes out like just gains a lot more stuff. The Dead also brings the introduction of a new character to the B.P.R.D. mythos, Captain Benjamin Daimyo, who's very much a military guy, but also wasn't qualified to join the B.P.R.D. is that he was once dead for 3 days. And then he came back.
Fascinating.
But he's a great character because while he's very military, he's not the whole angry military, oh, you're going to do what I have to say because I'm the general here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like he's very much a down-to-earth kind of guy who... there is some friction with the rest of the members. He does a good job of working with them and understanding what it means to join this group. And with the also what makes B.P.R.D. work as a series of miniseries is that it's got a fairly clear defined goals. That there's a bunch of frog demons who've come up as a result of the intervention of this one old god Saduhem, and it's like basically their emergence is basically like the forerunner that he's going to come back and destroy everyone there. Of course, the problem is that there's also additional stuff like Abraham Sapien finally discovering his origins, eventually Johann Kraus getting a body later on, and also and Kate Corrigan trying to match with an occultist collector in order to help out one of the other members who suffers a great tragedy in the series. It's overall B.P.R.D. It's far more. It seems far more accessible. It's got a clear, defined purpose, lots of great humor, suspense, great attention to detail as far as mythology goes, and I just generally feel that that it's. I'm not sure. I can't attribute all this specifically to Arcudi's involvement. I believe that the series does pick up a great deal once he joins in Volume 4 of The Dead.
How's the artwork in these volumes? Are they just
generally it's like I say, going back to Hellboy for a bit. Mignola's artwork is great stuff. I mean, he's got a great handle on balance between darkness and light, and it's just very, very clean, very stylized, angular stuff that just works really well for trying to depict any kind of demon, like either from this world or from some other world. The B.P.R.D. volumes, the first 2 volumes are a bunch of different artists who I'll just say they work very well, but from volume 3, Plague of Frogs onward, it's handled by Guy Davis.
Okay.
Good Lord! I mean, there's nothing this guy can't draw. I mean, like any kind of demon you need, you need a worm god from 10,000 years ago, like vampire demons who've been trapped in one place for thousands of years, panther gods, people 19th century steam operated bodies. I mean, good Lord, this guy. There's something this guy can't draw, and it's really impressive to see him at work in every single volume. I mean, it's not conventionally, his work isn't conventionally printed by modern superhero standards, but I mean it's all the better for that. I mean, the guy's a great talent, and it's incredible to see him at work. See him turn loose in B.P.R.D., which just basically throws all sorts of stuff at him to allow him to draw. I mean, personally, I honestly recommend B.P.R.D. for anyone. If you like Hellboy, and I think there are a lot of people out there, you're going to definitely like this as well. I mean, Hellboy, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't quite go far as say it's as good as its hype that you've heard that's one of the greatest series ever. I mean, yeah, it's inspired some good movies, but there's, like I said, just wish they'd finally get a new direction for Hellboy beyond just him being the beast of the apocalypse and having to avert his destiny. Just a new direction for that. B.P.R.D. is still going strong. It's got a clear direction. I mean, my complaint is that the most recent volume, Killing Ground, leaves off on a great cliffhanger that basically endangers one of my favorite characters from the series. Yeah. So in any case, like I said, if you like Hellboy 2 the movie, then I'd recommend either the main series or B.P.R.D. for the both of you.
Cool.
Okay. And as for now, that's it. So hey, talk to you later. And next week, it's all gonna be about Batman because he's got a movie coming out too.
All right. See you later, guys.
Later.